Hello and welcome. You're watching My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur here in Mumbai. Got Lisa Sthalekar with us from Sydney. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice and refreshed and waiting for 2 games.
Nice and refreshed after your morning sleep, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, morning to afternoon sleep. And we have Joy Bhattacharjya here from Gurugram, the dawn of Gurugram. You obviously got sleep at night, not after sunrise.
I woke up in the morning, went for a run, and went back to sleep after the run.
Oh, so everybody fresh, yes? Well, I am glad everybody's fresh because there's a lot happening. There's a lot that's going to happen. And obviously, there's a lot that we have to talk about. Let's just show you what the action is today. Of course, the first game that is happening in Abu Dhabi. It's Hyderabad playing Kolkata. I don't know why I'm saying it like Danny Morrison, but it's just got stuck now. Abu Dhabi. So Hyderabad playing Kolkata. Kolkata, of course, been living in Abu Dhabi. They're based there along with Mumbai, the only 2 teams there. And Kolkata's playing a stretch of games now in Abu Dhabi. So that's the game, Hyderabad and Kolkata. David Warner from Hyderabad won the toss. And a surprise, Lisa. What's going on?
Yeah, when he mouthed the words, "will bowl," I'm like, what? Huh? You guys always bat first. So it goes against the trend, isn't it? You know, especially Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think they were the first team to win the toss and bat first as well. So now they're going against it again.
Yep.
But we heard Warner say that the pitch is slightly different to what they've experienced there before. They have played a few games. So it's certainly very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it will be different because they played there a long time ago. But Joy, this is the first day game, I think, where the winning captain is not batting first. Yeah, I think it's the first day game that the winning captain is not batting first. I hope he asked his fielders because they're going to spend 2 hours now in what 40 feels like 50 degrees.
No, I think, look, I have only one logical explanation for it, which is that my sense is that his strength, the strength of these guys, SRH, is a fact that they have a very strong batting, the top 3 and what they believe in.
Yeah.
This is such a crucial game. They feel that this is almost like a knockout game. You know, we were discussing, it's like a 4-point swing kind of game. So what they really need to do is, what they really want to do is have their best played last. So they're saying, you know, even if our bowlers give it away, 170, 180, me, Kane, you know, Besto, we'll know the target, we'll know what to do, and we are experienced enough to deliver. So they're depending on their best players to deliver. They're 3 top international players to deliver at the business end of it. And they'll say, no matter what we give away on the field, we'll know what we're chasing at least.
And they have added to their batting as well today. They have added to their batting. Spin for spinner, Shahbaz out, Abdul Samad in. So, you know, gives you the spin, of course, and gives you the batting option as well. So just deepens that batting a little bit. And you've got Rashid Khan coming at 8. And just this morning, I was watching some highlights from the Big Bash and Rashid Khan doing his 40 of 17 and taking out those helicopters. Really want to see some of that in this tournament as well. Lisa, he really lights it up when he can. And of course, Basil Thampi also comes in. Basil Thampi is playing in place of Khalil, which is mildly surprising as well.
Yeah, I am surprised given that Khalil's picked up 2 fers in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
So he's been doing his job.
Unless it's a niggle or something,
Niggle, or sometimes, you know, these matchups. That the teams look at, you know, right-handed, left-handers. They've already got Natarajan as well, the left armer. So maybe they wanted just a right-handed, right-arm bowler. So maybe that's where they're going. But you talked about Rashid Khan. We haven't seen that from him yet. We haven't seen it in this edition of the IPL, and that's why he's one of the main players within Sunrisers to be able to not only bowl his 4 overs for absolutely nothing and pick up some wickets, but then to come in right at the back end and score a bit of entertaining runs for his team.
I would love for them to just throw a wild card out one of these days and just send him at like 5 or something and say, listen, yes, you got 6-7 balls, just do whatever you can. Just swing for the trees. Just go for it. And, you know, if it comes off, It's going to be really exciting, and hopefully we see that in Sharjah because boundaries are smaller, so can hit bigger sixes. And then with the Kolkata team, well, hang on just a second. I'm just saying that. Oh, I want to show my smug expression before we do that. And all three of us. See, the thing is, the three of us don't really like showing off, but because we love it. And this is exactly what we said last night. We said, have they forgotten Kuldeep? Would you see Kuldeep back after a break of 5 games and then maybe drop one of the Indian pacers and get Loki Ferguson in if Sunil Narine doesn't play? Sunil Narine, despite a cleared action, when we'll get to that in a second, is still not playing, right? He's still not in the team. Kuldeep comes in to share spinning duties with Varun Chakravarti. And now Loki and Pat Cummins are going to be taking the new ball, hopefully. Well, they're going to be your pace spearheads. So exactly how we discussed it last night. Joy, are you secretly still advising the Kolkata team? Have you taken our ideas and presented it to them on the platter?
I think they're watching you. They just heard Gaurav and Lisa on the show. They had to watch. So they've just been turning around and saying, these guys have got it. Finally, they've cracked the formula. Get on to us right now.
I don't like your mocking tone. I'll tell you this, because exactly as we said has happened. I do not mute his mic. Mute it now.
So yeah,
you like this though? I like it, irrespective of whether we said it or not. I like it. I like the fact that Loki's playing, Pat Cummins is playing. I like that Kuldeep is back. I like this bowling attack.
No, absolutely. And you see, whatever happens, people like Johnny Bairstow, Kuldeep is not the kind of bowler that you meet up that often.
Yeah.
He's not that easy to pick. He's not that easy. If you're not used to playing him, he's not the easiest thing to play against. It's a big ground. Abu Dhabi is a big ground. This is not Sharjah where they dropped him, and for perfectly understandable reasons. It's a great opportunity. And look, because there's so much dependent on this match, both Bairstow and Warner will be tentative because, again, you remember they have that burden of feeling there's very little after us.
Yeah.
So it's a great time to bowl Kuldeep. I'd give him one in the first 6. I'd give him the 5th or 6th over as well. Go out there and see what can happen.
But the thing is, Warner's been tentative anyway, Lisa. I mean, he's got the lowest strike rate in the power play for any opener by a distance. He's going like a runner ball. David Warner going at a runner ball in the power play is it's shocking.
Yeah, it is. And it's almost like, and I said it yesterday, that he's playing with a handbrake on. Last year, he scored 692 at a strike rate of 145, and Bairstow 445 at a strike rate of 157.
And so then you look at these numbers and they just seem like, you're right, a handbrake, Lisa, well put.
So it just doesn't make sense. And also, you talk about Lockie Ferguson coming in. When he actually played one of his first one-day internationals, he bowled to David Warner. I think it was at the SCG, bowled, 155 clicks, caught him out off the glove trying to hook the ball. So beware of that matchup in the power play as well. So I think it's been really smart by KKR to bring Lockie Ferguson in. But as for the numbers, those guys will not be happy with that. We're starting to see, and the thing was that at the start of the tournament, the grounds were still good, as in the pitches were still fast, lots of runs being scored. And these guys are just not playing as freely as we've seen them. So a lot of pressure on basically Hyderabad's openers.
Yeah, because it's 105 on the other side. It's not looking much better for Johnny Bairstow because he's at 110 or 112, and Shubman Gill is there as well. So 3 out of the 4 openers here, and the fourth opener will be the KKR opener, and they've had like 4, I think, right? They've had Sunil Narine, Rahul Tripathi, Tom Banton. They had anybody else? No. So they've had the 3. Don't know who they'll have today, but that's the thing. Both of these are just getting sluggish starts. Are both these teams, Joy?
Well, and the main thing is that actually the power play, both of the teams are really poor. I think KKR is the poorest, and Hyderabad are the 3rd slowest. So they've got to find ways of scoring runs, and it's not always just the power shots. And because it's a bigger ground, it's hitting into the gaps and running hard. We know Warner and Bairstow run really well. They're going to have to do that again in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I think they're 2 very different problems. I think for SRH, the problem is freedom. the fear that there isn't much after us. So they have to bat with added responsibility.
Is it though? Because I'm sorry. I just want to interrupt there, because sometimes what happens is, and this is again devil's advocate, that can become an excuse for anyway people not finding their groove. Because there was a time when I think they lost 3 up quick, 3 above really quickly, and then you had Priyam Garg and Abdul Samad and Abhishek giving you some runs. So I don't know. Is it a faith issue, or is it genuinely they're just not being in rhythm?
I genuinely think with Warner, he feels he carries the burden of the team. And remember, last year they scored some 46% of their team's runs are just those 2 guys.
Yeah.
So I think he feels it, and I think he's not able to get rid of it. He has to. For them to perform, he has to play more freely.
Yep.
With KKR, it's a very different problem. One is your second opener is not clicking, because Sunil Narine was tried, he's getting out cheaply. Somebody else is coming, he's getting out cheaply. In fact, Nitish Rana is the only guy who's giving them a bit of push in the power play. The problem is that Shubman Gill, at the best of times, he's a very Jacques Kallis kind of batsman. He hits the fielders. He's very correct.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is that he's not going to score like Prithvi Shaw. But they'll live with that if the other guy is attacking. The problem now is the other guy is getting out cheaply. Whatever little attacking is coming from Nitish Rana, and that's basically so very different conundrums that they are facing. But I think the advantage that SRH has is it's in their heads.
Yep.
If they can say, you know what, we'll just go and do what we have to. I'm not using the word express ourselves. Okay. And they just go and play freely. They have enough there. Priyam is a good player. Abhishek is a good player. Abdul Samad is a good player. Manish will come off once in a while, and they have Kane Williamson. There's enough there. Go guys, play freely, man.
So they basically have to execute their processes, right?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you heard of something called buzzword bingo? So basically, you have all these. So I'm planning to do one for the IPL.
So we should do Cricbuzz bingo.
Yeah, Cricbuzz bingo. So you make something executing processes. The boys played well. And you keep ticking it off as it's done in an interview.
We had the word last year as well, if you remember, momentum. Nobody could use momentum. And we haven't done it actually this year. That's quite amazing. Nobody's done it. Well, I hope that you are getting some good momentum on your My 11 Circle team when you're picking it. How do you do it? You go to the website, of course, download the app and choose the game. The first game today, Hyderabad and Kolkata. Choose 11 players from it and try to beat everybody else in the world.
Okay, Gaurav, I have a question for you before you start.
Yes,
you
please.
You seem to know everything. You predicted the team. You got everything right.
Yes.
If Sunil Narine is cleared, why aren't they playing him?
That is a very, very valid question. But first, I would want to back it up a little bit and just address this cloud on what's going on. Okay, let's just take it back a little. We set it up a time long, long ago. Well, 1 week ago. There was an official release. Sunil Narine was given a warning. We were not told which ball it is, which is what the usual process is, right? It tells you which ball. We just kept guessing it and it was never made clear. Now, apparently the report was made by on-field umpires, according to IPL's suspected illegal bowling action policy. And Sunil will be placed on a warning list and is permitted to bowl in the tournament. KKR then chooses not to bowl him, right? And we predicted that as well. Would you want to sit him out and just make sure he doesn't come in the umpire's glare again? They do that. They leave him out. He's quite a trump card. I'm sure they miss him. Suddenly today, a week later, 1 week later, Kolkata requested for an official assessment of the action. And they submitted action footage in slow motion with the side angle, with the angle from the back. They reviewed the deliveries of the action footage with the naked eye and came to the conclusion that the elbow bend appears to be within the range of permissible limits. So here's a few things I'm not understanding. First, ambiguity on which delivery was called, which delivery was deemed illegal by the ICC elite panel umpires. Then after that, who is this committee, right? And how has it got cleared by just the naked eye? I don't get how it's just got, because I would believe that when you're sending the paper for review, they would check it even more thoroughly and use the same parameter that they used the first time. Sorry, Joy, yes.
No, absolutely. So I'm going to bring Lisa into it very early. But first of all, I know you just said it because you wanted to use the word naked in a show. I know that was the reason. But one thing is, it's usually not one delivery. It's more than one delivery. and the team needs to know. So they'll say, okay.
But they tell you the deliveries, right? Whether it's one or multiple,
the team is generally
know.
told these are the deliveries, and they must have gone in stock. But my only thing is that the process after that is something that I do not understand, which is that normally how it's done in the IPL is, as I said, there's a committee and then it goes out. There was never any committee like that. If a player's on warning, he's either called a second time and he can't bowl, or there's no, this interim committee is something I've never seen before. Lisa, how does it work in international cricket?
Yeah, well, international cricket, there's an independent, I guess, arbitrator where you go to the sports science lab. You'll see all of the players, they get all these little balls put on them, and then their action is taken through, and then it's measured. Scientifically, they are able to prove and show the degrees of the elbow and the arm extension. And they're asked to bowl all of their deliveries, not we're only looking at this delivery. They're asked to bowl all of their deliveries. This is my understanding. And then obviously, if he or she is cleared, then carry on. If they're not, then obviously there's a period of time where they've got to change their action, which is what Chris Green did. So another KKR player had to change his action, then goes through the test again, and then is cleared. So by having another committee, like you said, Joy, who's just been made up, and then to look at the footage through the naked eye and make a comment on that, it lacks transparency from my point of view.
But it has been cleared now, so which means that he is clear to play. So, Joy, what is it now? He was on the warning list, but he's off the warning list now, right?
Yeah. Look, the only logic I can think about his not playing today is there must be some sort of a quid pro quo saying that, okay, fine, we'll let's take the cloud away from him, but he's not going to play till the playoffs. There must be some, because I want to know the committee's name, and I want to know what they can see with the naked eye on video, which an umpire can't see happening right next to his eye. So I need to. So I think it's fantastic for KKR that he's back, but I just would be delighted to see a lot more transparency in the way this has transpired.
Yep, fair point. We have a lot of transparency though on our Boost stamina meter, and that's the one I'm going to introduce now, because Natarajan, to the naked eye, absolutely visible, the hard yards that he's been putting in, and that's why he's there. He's on the list. Where is he? So I'm going to see Virat Kohli, of course, on top. Not surprising. Give him 45-degree heat, dry heat, and he's still running like a little machine. KL Rahul spending a lot of time out in the middle. David Warner spending a lot of quantity time there. He'd want that to convert to some quality time with his strike rate, especially. And of course, then there's a whole clutch of fast bowlers coming in after that, because bowling 150 in no child's play. We've got Natarajan is who we're focusing on today on our Boost stamina meter. That's his overall rating. Picking up a wicket a game. He's bowling 8.5 dot balls out of 24. So it's 33%, 1/3, not bad. And his average speed has been up there close to 135. You've been quite impressed with him, haven't you, Joy?
Absolutely. And I think he's a great story also. If you see from the small town that he comes from, what he's done, where he's reached. And he's actually a product of this great sort of system of the IPL, where the smaller leagues, the TNPL and all these leagues become feeder leagues. Somebody goes out there, sees a player, picks him up. And Natarajan is he's a case study for that. And in fact, I think that's what he did was, he was actually the first guy in this IPL to consistently try and bowl the Yorker. If you remember, he had the mystery of the disappearing Yorker.
Get it right.
1 and 2. There were no Yorkers. Nobody wanted to try.
Correct.
So he started it. And in fact, I think today the reason Basil Thampi is playing is he's the other guy who bowls Yorkers on a consistent basis. And they thought in a clutch match, they wanted the ball up in the block hole and say, okay, if you miss, we hit. If you get hit, so be it. And I think that's why they're playing Basil Thampi and Natarajan. That's the sort of reason for that matchup against KKR.
Well, so that's it. He's on our Boost stamina meter. Natarajan, watch out for him. They are bowling first, Hyderabad. I know, Joy, you don't like the word express, but in this case, you like it because the context is that there's a great story in the Indian Express today on Natarajan. So if you get your hands on that, you must read it. It's a great story. Talking about Kolkata, two high-impact players that they were expecting a lot from and are not getting enough from, Lisa. And they know it, and the players will know it as well, as Pat Cummins and Andre Russell.
Yeah, it's quite funny, isn't it? Probably especially Pat Cummins. He's the biggest buy of this IPL. Only 2 wickets. We mentioned that. Going for runs as well. It's not like he's kind of producing a none for 21 or 15 or anything like that. So the economy rates are big. And then you look at Andre Russell. Yeah, there was a lot of talk, wasn't there, at the start that he was going to bat a little bit higher. He's been given 2 opportunities to do that. But compared to what he did last year, it's been, as a pure fan, it's been really disappointing not to see him just be as strong as he normally is at the back end. But people have figured him out. Fast bowlers are bowling how many deliveries up here? They're not bowling in his area at all. And it's a shame that we haven't seen a development in Andre Russell and to be effective in the short delivery, even if it's just to get out of the way or deflect it over the keeper. There's been no change in his game plan.
He tried deflecting it. It was, I think, Rabada. After hitting him once, he tried to deflect it that way and got caught out at third man. But Lisa, we said that Russell, the 3 C's, right? You give him the 3 C's. You cramp him up. You give it to him at chest height. And you bowl at him really quick.
Chin music.
See, chin is chest. It's the same, right?
No,
chin and chest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all here. We're talking about short balls is chin and chest, right? So you can change the chest to chin music. You can't bowl too many because then you get called. But you give it to him around his chest, you cramp him up and you bowl really for quick. And you'll see him with that trigger movement away. And that's what, you're right, Lisa. You're seeing that there is no development in that because we're constantly seeing that moving away from his leg stump. And that's what's getting him joy. It's gotten him pretty much every time.
Right now, there's more chin music out there for him than in a Chinese orchestra. It's just all up here or down there, And absolutely, they're bowling at him. The only thing is, in his favor today is the guys bowling at him today are not that fast.
Yeah.
They're 135, 140 kind of guys, and Russell will say, you know what? This is not Rabada coming at me or Nokia coming at me or Jafra Archer coming at me. These guys I can take. So if the 140 comes up here and it sits up for him, he'll probably really give it a go. Or he'll start to try and move forward and change the length. So I think this is a good day for him. This bowling attack is an attack he can feast on.
It's also going to be a good day, and we're predicting it'd be a good day for Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill will want to do a little more for his team in terms of his speed of scoring. Has been shown a lot of faith in by the team management. Have told him that he will play through the tournament as an opener. I'm sure he will want to. He's contributed with the runs. He probably wants to do it at a quicker clip if he can, and that's why we've chosen him as our My 11 Circle trump card against Hyderabad. The first time around, he got a 70 of 62. He'll want to do it slightly quicker than that, but Lisa, he's quite delightful to watch, isn't he, up the order?
Oh, he's a classical batsman, isn't he? Yeah. You just love to see him launch into, a cover drive and caress it through that area, straight down the ground as well. So because he's so technically correct, you know that he's going to survive, and he has been surviving, and hence probably why his strike rate is down as well. So he needs to get a little bit more inventive, and it doesn't need to be big movements. It could be just changing his guard. From middle stump to leg stump to off stump, and it just allows him to manipulate the ball a little bit more. So he doesn't need to be as expansive as a NARINE or an Andre Russell or any of these guys. He just has to make some slight changes just to show that he's ahead of the game and willing to take a risk every now and again.
I mean, without taking too many risks as well, Abu Dhabi big ground, if he can milk the longer side boundary for twos. Remember, a 2 is a 200 strike rate of the ball. So, that's another way, less glamorous way of doing it.
I think his problem is rotating strike. If he rotates strike well, he will get opportunities to hit fours because he's too good a batsman not to get four hitting opportunities. But he needs to rotate first. He needs to keep the fielders honest. Right now, what he's doing is, even when he's hitting to mid-on, he's hitting with hard hands. And he's going straight to mid-on very fast. He can't run those singles. If they do that well, and I'll tell you what, Nitish Rana has actually done a very good job there. He rotated well. It's just that Nitish hasn't. He's got those 35s and 25s and 40s. What they'd be looking for, telling Nitish is, you know what, get us a big 70 or an 80. You win us a couple of games.
True. Well, right now, we also have to talk about winning stuff. First, we'll start with the joy factor question. That's a chance for all of you to win. Over to you, Professor.
It's a fun question today. If Shahbaz Nadeem was the only one in 2019 and Pragyan Ojha the only one 10 years before, who was the only one before them? Or as a hint, who was the last only one before them?
The last only one?
From a region, a certain region.
Yeah, they are Indian. Obviously, Indian cricketers.
Well, yes, but
Shabazz.
could be from a certain
Transfer, hat trick, left arm spinner, Taurus. I don't know. Capricorn. I don't know.
Like
I'm checking the answers have come already or not.
Just check. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live on Twitter. Send your answers. Enjoy sitting on Twitter to see if the correct answer. Is it in? Is it in? No, it's not in yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
We will end with me, the defending champion, winning both yesterday with our score guesses. Yes. It's Kolkata batting first in Abu Dhabi. How many are they going to get for my 11th Circle Badge of Honor? Lisa, since you are 5.5 hours ahead of us, you're 5.5 hours ahead of us.
I can go earlier if you want.
Because you can,
I went
you can see
I
the
went
future because
first
you're in it.
times.
Okay, I'll go first. No problem.
Yeah.
172.
182.
I was actually going to say 173.
Say it. That's actually, 170s in Abu Dhabi. You'll get more 170s than you get 180s. So both of you can be there. So he gets 5 runs below 172 is his zone, and you get 5 runs above 173.
Okay, done. So 173.
He's just gamed you because what he's done is he has a 10-run.
He's got the clear. I know. But I reckon we're going to be in the 1-7.
You are just puppets in my hands, children. No, but listen, honestly, I think it's going to be more amongst you guys. I doubt in an afternoon game it's going to get to 180. If it does, then we know that it'll be a great batting effort by Kolkata. So more than me winning, I'll be Joy. So Joy wins anyway, right? So Joy wins anyway. If it goes to 180, Joy is happy that Kolkata's perhaps winning the game. But if it goes below 170, he's happy because he wins the badge of honor. You see what Joy has actually gamed both of us.
No, but you know what it used to happen? Really, in the First World War, 1914.
First World War, of course, just now.
Yeah.
Pilots, there was a betting league of which pilots would return because so many pilots used to get shot down. So all these pilots, whenever they flew out, they'd bet their entire pay on themselves. So if they came back, they'd get the pay. If they were shot down, it didn't matter anyway.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Tough school.
Mildly morbid, but thank you. Sunday.
And on that note, enjoy the game.
Enjoy the game after we tell you about this Russian roulette. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox, of course. Thank you for watching. My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live.